Hi, good evening, all of you, dear. Good evening, all of you. Hi, how are you doing, all of you? Are you able to hear me? Yes, no? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, good evening. Good evening, dear, all of you. Nice being with you again. Yeah, hi, Sigmund. You are here. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, nice to be with you again, dear. Same with me here. Same with me here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ashish, I am doing a great job. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much, dear. God bless you all. God bless you all. Yeah, definitely, dear. God bless you all. Okay. Okay, so, I purposefully waited because I am here from 5 to, not 5, about 6:30 or so, but I waited because there were very few people at this point. And now we have about 40, so at least some decent score, a decent score to get out or to start the innings, you see. A decent score, so we will be starting off. You see, I waited because very, very few people at that point in time. Hi, Kaushiki, how are you doing? God bless you, dear. God bless you, dear. Good evening, sir. Good evening to all of you. Good evening, dear. God bless you all, dear. Before I start off, before anyone has any questions to me, you can say. You can start off. So we have to do 6 to 13 chapters, and I am going to do PCP, I think, on Saturday itself. 9 o'clock Saturday PCP for you. So we are going to do case studies. Okay, we are going to do case study. We'll have discussion on case study, and then I will wrap up the entire chapters or the entire chapters with the help of those case studies. So I'm going to do that there. Okay, because case studies require a lot of discussion. I'm sorry, we'll not be able to do it here, but anyway, we will be doing the case study discussion in the PCP. So whoever is coming to PCP, we will be doing that. Okay, for all others, we will be obviously, doing good amount of work in VCF. So if you have any questions, I'm still warming up, dear. I'm still warming up because I'm waiting for more people to come in. In the meantime, yeah, if you have any questions, I will be taking them. Yeah, just shoot. Okay, let me ask you. Ahuja says, sir, is PPT available for this session? PPT is always available. It depends upon whether I want to send it to you or not, dear. Yeah, so don't you worry. The night is still young and you have just come in, So don't worry. The night is still young, dear. Don't worry. Okay. With that, uh, let me ask you, how was your midterm exam? What I mean by you just tell me how many people got how many percent, or what percentage? Kitna mila hai? Let me see. Midterm exam, strategic management. I started off by saying when we did strategic management that this is an application oriented subject. Questions which will be asked in the examination will obviously be in application oriented and is going to be tough. Okay, but let me see. Sigmund was good, sir. Marks was bad, he says. Don't you worry, Sigmund. Don't you worry, dear. Yeah. The night is still young. You have 80% exam or 80% weight is still going to be there. But again, your end term is going to be tougher. Dear friend, your end term is going to be tougher. You will be having more application-oriented questions than you had in the midterm. So you have to gear up, friends. You have to gear up. Okay, good evening. Yeah, good evening. Now, SM was little tough, says Nathan, but I think he's a little apprehensive to share his marks. Don't you worry, dear. Yeah, don't you worry. Yogesh says 90%. Shilpa says, sir, got 44 score. What is that 44? What is that 44? You got 44 out of 50, is it? Oh, that's great. Yeah, Shilpa, you did a good job. 44 out of 50. Shilpa, Sashant says 43. Shilpa, do you have a webcam? I want to take you online. What's the best study strategy for mentor? Yes, Saran. Yes. So Shilpa, be ready. I'm taking you online. Yeah, please take her online. Great. Shilpa is ready. Yeah. Let's see. शिल्पा क्या नाम है इसका देख, शांतवनी शिल्पा, के नाम भी अच्छा, शांतवनी शिल्पा. Hi Shilpa.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, dear. Nice to see you. You look so good. Yeah, you look like a CEO of a company.
I'm sitting in the
Great.
office.
Yeah, you're in office, so you plan to be a CEO, right?
I'm sorry, your voice is breaking. If you could repeat for me.
I said you want to be a CEO one day, or it's your own company.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm working for SAP, so I'm based in Pune office. So thank you.
You're in Pune office. You're in Pune office. Okay, okay.
Right,
No problem, sir. No problem. It is nice. We are able to see you here. Yeah, we are able to see you here. Great. First of all, let me congratulate you for doing an excellent job. You see, 90%, Ashif also says he's got 90. Somebody say, UK says 46 out of 50. I don't know how you got that. You see, absolutely fantastic, Absolutely fantastic. एक कहावत है ना, मुश्किल कुछ भी नहीं है इस जिंदगी में. हाँ? मुश्किल कुछ भी नहीं है इस जिंदगी में, जरा हिम्मत करो यारो. ख्वाब बदलेंगे हकीकत में, जरा कोशिश तो करो यारो. है ना? So what happens is with all those people, okay, who have not got what they expected to get, don't you worry, dear. You have to work hard. Now I want to ask you, Shilpa, what was your strategy that you scored such good marks in your first term or midterm?
Honestly, with working, it's not going that great. Not even much enough to study in all those. But the lectures are very good. I'm mostly stucking up on lectures. Those recordings are very good, and as ever, when I get a time, I try to log into the online sessions and see all those things. Strategy is very systematic all the way. I always decide what I have to do when and all those. This really helped me being a certified project management. So all those are, I try to make it structured. But indeed, without having those lectures available with me, it would be not that possible. So thanks.
Okay,
thanks to you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. That was too modest on your part, but that is okay because I deserve it. I am very good.
You are, sir.
Having said that, somebody asked me that, sir, you say this very good. What is the secret? I said, see, if you don't believe that you are good, how will people believe that you are good?
Absolutely.
Right. So you have to first believe in yourself. Right? You have to first believe in yourself that I am very good. So once you believe, then obviously people will start believing if you are really good. Now that's important, Having said that, you see, I would like to ask you, Shilpa, that if I would request you to please share, or I would put it in this way, what are the things that people should need to do for the end term for strategic management? Because strategic management is a little application-oriented exam compared to other subjects. So what would you say? Now you are addressing people, because somebody asked me, sir, could you please get the best study strategy for the end term? Sarang has written to me, could you please give me the best study strategy for the end term? Now, obviously, I have not studied strategic management, nor have I given this PGTBM exam. So, obviously, you are a better judge. Please tell me, what would you suggest to him?
I think the topic-wise, if we see what our book, it's very much given. Maybe the initial chapters we go through, those had given a very clear idea. Honestly, I just read once all these chapters. If my basics are clear, it will be easy for me to understand. And if scenario questions come, those are the real time your basic gets checked out. So maybe that we have to make it clear. In spite of mugging up, that will certainly not going to help. In fact, not when we are going to implement in our professional lives. So my study will be always to keep the things basic clear. For the scenario-based questions, really enjoy those actually. In spite of who said this particular statement or this particular has been given by whom, kind of principle.
Which one?
Maybe
which
like
one I didn't get you?
We have a certain gurus who had talked about the statement or who had given certain laws or the principles. In spite of those, we just focus more on what are the basic or behind with those strategy or topics to really help. Like what Peter Drucker said is honestly very good. But maybe it's really hard for me to remember all those times, as I said, by Peter Drucker or XYZ. But if I understand the basic, it really helps. So what I usually do, try to understand the basic things and then scenario-based questions, those if we keep on doing it. That is what I usually do. Maybe the rest you can try this. Yeah.
Great, Shilpa. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Karke. Thank you very much, and God bless you. And I'm sure you're going to get better marks, this time. Yeah, God bless you, right? And I love you, dear. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Okay, I think you see, Kureshi says 90% and Yogesh says 46, which is more than 90%. Yogesh Patel, hey, kya tu idhar? Is Yogesh Patel there? Yogesh Patel, are you there? Oh, he is not responding. So slowly, we have our score gone to 48 people now, which is quite good, 48 people now, which is quite good. See, dear friends, what we will do is that if you have any questions to me, now Sarang, are you clear? Sarang, yes or no? Oh, come on. Yeah, great. See, very simple, dear. If it's coming from my end, you need to read the book, yes, right, as I said. You don't need to, grasp and remember all the concepts, right, which are there, and, just ratta maanne ka koi zarurat nahi hai. You please understand the basics. Right? Understand, agar ye strategy hai, aur is company mein hai, ye company mein, how do we use this? Okay, now that's very important. That is very important. And then you will be able to understand and attempt the questions in a better way. For strategic management, specifically for strategic management, dear friends, this is what we need to do. I know all other subjects may be a little different than this when it comes to exam point of view. Because many people have told me that, sir, most of them are application questions, I even see some mark sheets when people get their first year advanced diploma, they promptly put that on the Facebook. And I glance a few of them, and I see if I have seen 10 mark sheets very recently, I have seen that out of 10 mark sheets wherein people, let's say 6 people or 7 people have got good scores, I see the lowest that they have scored, or the second lowest that they have scored, is strategic management. Now that's my research. That's what I see on the Facebook, which itself, brings me to this conclusion that people are finding this a little tough. The point is not that they are finding it a little tough, but the point is that you are doing the same thing for other subjects that you are doing even for strategic management. So this time I thought that I will make it a point to talk about it a little more, to understand from people who have got good marks what they did and how they got it, and therefore we got Shilpa online, and understand here that how and what we need to do. Otherwise, the same thing is going to follow, right? If you keep on doing the same thing, you are going to keep on getting the same things. Right? So I would request you that, for people who have not scored, because out of 51 people here, we had about 48 people when I asked this question, how many people got what marks, only 4 people have written. Shilpa has written 44, Shasham has written 43, Yogesh has written 46, Ashif says 90%, sir. And there was no one else who have given their marks, which very clearly brings me to this conclusion that, we are a little apprehensive in sharing the marks. Now Sarang says, sir, I got 39. Oh, good. Very good. Okay, let's understand here. Let's start off, right, by understanding these things. So in case you would like to ask me anything, if we start on with the chapters, which we are going to do. Another 2 minutes I don't mind spending. If you have a question which you would like to ask me, other than this question which Sarang asked me, and I think he says, yes, sir, we are clear about it. He asked me, what we should do to get good marks in the end term. Okay, any other question? Anyone has any other question? Nobody's asking me, huh? No problem. If you do not have, okay, let us start off, okay? Okay, sorry, sir. Okay, no problem. I'm late. No problem, dear. At least you have come. I scored 32 out of 50. Oh, that's good, right? And Sweta says, sir, I got 41, which itself is good. Congratulations. So congratulations to all of you, dear, who have scored good marks, okay? And I scored 38, says Nitin. Oh, that's good. And we gear up for the end term. End exam, 80% weightage, 50 questions, 60 minutes. We should aim at least 45 out of 50. So in order to get 90%, what is the strategy that we need to adopt? We need to understand that, and we have spoken about it, that what we need to do. With that there, we have subject as chapters from chapter number 6 to chapter number 13. What I would request you is, if you agree, then I will just refresh, right? What is strategy management, so that we come into the wavelength of the same thing. Okay. Now, what I will just start off by refreshing, then we will upload the chapter, and then from there we'll take over. Let's understand the basic, right? Strategic management. Strategic management, right? Strategic. Certain people pronounce it in a different way. Strategic, and things like that, okay? Comes from the Greek word strategia, which was used by the Greeks during military operations when they were fighting the enemy. If you look at today's scenario, enemies are our competitors and the marketplace is the battlefield. In other words, it's very simple that strategy is used only when we have competition. If we have no competition, we do not need a strategy. A plan is good enough. A plan is good enough. Thank you. Which means that if we are operating in a monopolistic market, which means no competition, we do not need a strategy. Which are the monopolistic market operating today in India, let's say? Maybe Indian Railways. Indian Railways, in order to grow their company, do not need a strategy because they are operating in a monopolistic market. But if you look at any other businesses in Mumbai or in India, you will see most of the businesses, right? Even in BMC, you have Ashish Tesar, BST, BST in Mumbai, operating in a sheer monopolistic market, right? TMC in Thane Municipal Corporation operating in a monopolistic market, right? But very, very few, right? Very, very few. But in most of the businesses which we are operating in, we are operating in an oligopoly market, which means we have more than one competitor in every business that we have. Even I and you as an individual are operating in an oligopoly market. For example, if I have to go for an interview for a job, there are many other people also who apply for the same job, which means that I am not the only one. I'm not in a monopolistic environment, but there are other people also who are with me, which means I'm in an oligopoly market. Which again, therefore, means that I need to have a strategy and not a plan. Let us understand here, every company, every organization needs to grow. Every organization needs to continue growing. And because we need to continue growing, we need to understand that if we have done, let's say, 100 crores this year, we want to, let's say, 200 crores in 3 years' time, which means we have to at least go 72 by 3 is 3 2s are 6, about 26, 27, 30%, let's say, 30% year on year approximately. If we grow 30% year on year approximately, we will reach or double our turnover from 100 crore to 200 crore in 3 years' time. Now, that's very simple. But how do you go about doing it? Because we are operating in oligopoly market, we require to have a strategy in place to basically achieve our desired objective. Therefore, the strategic management process starts with every company has got a mission and vision. Every company has got a mission and vision. If you see on the chapter number 3rd or 4th, I think in this book, chapter number 4, we did mission and vision. And whoever came for the PCP and also for the BCF, I explained you that people have their mission, vision, core values, shared values, and so on and so forth. And we even took examples of companies like, some people told us, that what is our company's mission and vision. I even, showed you a credo of JJ, and I showed you that what are the different things that the company has. So what is the vision that an organization has, and what is the vision, right? What is the vision that the organization has, and why are they here? What is the mission, which we have already done in chapter number 4. Now, in order to achieve your mission and vision, you will have to have your goals and objectives, which means that every organization, therefore, I give an example, 100 crore to 200 crore in 3 years' time, 100 crore to 130 crores next year. So you have a long-term goal, you have a short-term goal, you have a long-term objective, you have a short-term objective, but your short-term objective is in line with your long-term objective, and therefore this particular objectives and goals are in line with the company's vision and the company's mission. Now, when you are having a very clear objective that you set for yourself, I say that the company needs to understand that what is their SWOT analysis, which means that what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are this thing, which are there. Proper strategy means, sir, wish to use direction to achieve something. Yes, dear, right? So what happens is you will have to look at your SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Again, if you remember, I explained to you last time in the first term or mid-term, whatever you call that, when I meet an objective of, let's say, 100 crore, I need to understand that 100, say I want to do 200 crore in 3 years' time. If I have to do that, I require resources of money, materials, people, etc., etc. Now, and for doing that, you may require to infuse maybe 70 crore in the business. Now I say, well, I do not have the money. I can't. Okay, you don't have the money, but can you raise that money through someone, private equity, from shares? Could you do that? Debentures, loans? No, I can't do that. So if you cannot do that, then the objective that we set for ourselves from 100 crore to 200 crore in 3 years' time, is this a right objective? We need to understand. And therefore, when we set our goal and objective, in the hindsight, we also have to consider what are our strengths and weaknesses. I am trying to do 100 to 200 crores, dear, but do I have the opportunities in the market? Do I have the threat? What are the threats in the market? I need to really understand that. Another example I will give you, if you say that you are in a position of, let's say, a middle management manager in a company, you say, sir, in 3 years' time, I want to be a CEO of a company. Now, that could be a good goal, that could be a good objective, but you will have to do a SWOT analysis. Do you have the strength at this point in time to get to CEO position? Means, do you have the qualification? Do you have the experience? Do you have the right kind of networking? Do you have all those psychometric tests in order so that people know that yes, he is an MBTI, FIROV, and all those that do, right? So do you have the skills which are required? Do you have the requisite trainings which are there? Are you willing to do this? So what are you doing? You are looking at, this is my desire, this is my present state, and this is my desired state. Now, I am to be a middle-level manager. My desired state is a CEO in 3 years' time. What are the different things that I need to do? Before you know what you need to do, you have to understand what are you now, which is doing your SWOT analysis. TOS matrix, you remember I spoke about TOS matrix. You see, whoever was there in the VCF as well as in the PCP last time, I spoke about TOS matrix, that you will always be successful if your strength meets your opportunity. You have the strength in you, and there is a huge opportunity in the market. So you are able to do that. Some people tell me, sir, it's very simple. I ask him, see, you want to do 30% growth. Okay, now 30% growth आप लेंगे, but जो आपका market है, जो products है आपके, that itself is growing by 15%, and you are the brand leader with already 65% of the market. How and what do you plan to do? Because if you go and aggressively, you want to increase the market share in the market, you will have to give some scale. You have to go in for a great amount of aggressive promotion. When you do that, it may happen that your profitability goes down. So you may achieve your market share, you may achieve your sales revenue, but your profit may go down. So what are you trying to tell me? You will achieve your market share, you will achieve your turnovers or sales revenue, sales turnover, but you will probably not be able to meet your profit objective. Is it what you're trying to tell me? He said, no, sir. But then how are you going to do it? He said, very simple, sir. I am growing by 15%. I will do an aggressive, I will plan to do a 15% growth there itself, sir. So I'm not looking at very aggressive growth there, which means I do 100 to 115, which means I maintain my market share next year also. And I'm not going to be very aggressive by giving some sales promotions, sales offers, and reduce my price, sir. And then how are you going to do the another 15 crores? Because you said you will do 130. He said, sir, I have planned to add three new products, sir. And the three new products which I am planning to get into, sir, the entire business of that particular product is about 100 crore. And in the first year, sir, we are planning to just take 5% of that, sir, which means only 5 crores. I said, okay, so that's 20. What do you do others? Well, sir, for other, we are planning to buy over a company, sir. That company's turnover is already 10 crores, sir. And we are negotiating with them, and we want to buy that company, acquire that company, and merge it with the present company. So I will go from 100 to 15, which is 115. I will take new products, another 5, only 5% of the market, sir, 5 crore, which means 115 plus 5 is 120, and I will buy another company, 10 crores, 130, sir. And for this, sir, the budget that we have looked at is we will have to invest about 25 crores in the business, sir. I already have a reserve of about 12 crores, sir, and we as directors and promoters are infusing another 8 crores, and 5 crores, sir, they are taking from the bank, sir. They are taking from the bank. So with that, sir, this is where I'm going to get my 25 crores, and this is where I'm going to do that, and this is my strategy. So I will do 130 crore. In fact, this 10 crore business which is done last year, we even plan to do a little more and probably, do 100 and maybe, 35 or 37. So we are targeting 140, which is our dream plan. But this plan, sir, is 130. Now see, very simply, if you see, very, very clear, very clear strategy. Kaise main karunga? Now this is what is the corporate level. Then we go down. So I'll talk to you afterwards on that. Okay, Sweta, no, I'm just refreshing and bringing you back to this. What is strategy and how do you go about it? That's what I'm doing at this point in time, Sweta. But yes, I will be starting with chapter number 6. I'm not yet started. So I'm again. So you have mission vision clear, goal objective clear, do a SWOT analysis. If that is not the case, then you will have to review your goals. Dear, 100 to 200 crore is a big, we can't infuse 20 crores, So maybe you will have to rework. So SWOT analysis in a realistic way is very, very important. Very, very important. Right? Omkar, and why are you so worried about chapter? Yeah. Okay, what I am telling you, usko to sun le. चैप्टर होगा या नहीं होगा उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता बेटा एग्जाम में तेरे को पास करना है ना और what I'm telling you listen don't worry about chapter here what do you will that chapter में बोलेगा chapter 7 क्या कर लेगा है ना so don't worry about that there look at this. Okay, look at this, and don't you worry. You see, I have taken this responsibility. I will complete the chapters also. Don't worry. Okay, so look at this. Now we do SWOT analysis. Now once we do the SWOT analysis and we have the goals and objectives, then what we understand is what we have to do is do a strategic formulation. What is strategic formulation? You will have to understand here that now in order to achieve my goal and objective, which I have finalized by looking at my SWOT analysis, now I will say, yes, this goal is right and we will achieve it. And therefore, we will go for how we will achieve it, strategic formulation. Dear friends, we should understand these three steps which we do are always done by the top management. The top management decides how do we go about diversification, new products, new business, acquiring companies, merging companies, existing product ko badhana, kya karna hai. So what is this? This is the top management decides this. Once your strategic formulation is done and you are clear on your strategic formulation, then comes what I call as the action phase of the strategic management process, and that is strategic implementation. SI, strategic implementation. Let us understand, dear friends, that strategic implementation is the action phase of the strategic management process, which means you may have done an excellent strategy in place. Your strategic planning, I'm using the word strategic planning, okay, is very, very good and clear, dear. But the point is that the people who are going to implement it or the way it's implemented is proper. So a good strategy will go far. A good strategy will go far if the implementation is not done properly. And therefore, my dear friend, it is very, very important that strategic implementation has to be done in the right way. Let us understand, formulation is done at the top level, as I said, but implementation of strategy is done at every level across the organization, across hierarchies in the organization. Every department, functional department, every person there in the organization, right from the top to the bottom, have to be a link in the implementation process. So strategic formulation is more of an intellectual process, whereas strategic implementation is more of an action-oriented process. Once you do a strategic implementation and you have implemented the strategy, you need to understand that you have to continuously go on evaluating and controlling. I say strategic evaluation and strategic control. Why? Very simple. When we, let me take you back to the example of 100 crore. When the year starts, you say that I will do 100 to 130 crores in this year. At that point in time, you take the current scenario in the market. You take what is happening. You understand and analyze the environmental factor present at that point in time, which means you analyze the micro environmental factor and you analyze the macro environmental factor, which are the pestle factors, if you remember, political, economical, social, technological, legal, environmental, macro environmental factor you analyze. You will analyze even the micro-environmental factors, the competitors, supplier, material, you employees, both internal and external. You look at those factors, customer, micro-environmental factor. You analyze these factors and then you decide that at this point in time, this is this. And with this in view, you plan to do, and your SWOT, you plan to do 100 to 130 crores. But dear, 6 months down the line, you are not aware, you may not be aware that what are the changes which will take place. You don't know, right? What are the changes which will take place? It may happen that the government say that, dear, this particular thing is bad. Or you cannot. I read in Times of India today, I was reading that we are importing 1,000 tons of gold every year, right? I read today 1,000, gold every year, pounds of gold every year we are, importing, which is a huge foreign exchange going out. And this gold is there in our household lying idle. This year we have surpassed China in gold import, and we have done 562 million compared to them about 538 or so, which means that we have done more gold imports, right? And Narendra Modi, Prime Minister, has now given an thing saying that if you come with your gold and give it to the, I don't know where, bank or wherever, then we will give you a 2.5% annual interest. With that, our gold which is lying idle in household comes out, and we are no longer going to be looked at as a poor country, is what he's saying. I'm not getting into that factor. Now let's say that this is, people are saying not happening. Now tomorrow the government may say, come on, import of gold, we have enough, they are banned. Now see, when a jewelry company in Sieves maybe, who is making jewelry and selling abroad, Tanishq, a Titan, group of company who is selling jewelry, right? When they had probably made a strategy when the year end, when the policy was not like that, in 6 months' time, it may happen that the policy gets changed. Now, what do? Very simple here, which means that we need to continuously keep our ears, eyes, nose, brains open and analyze what is going to happen in the future, so that we take corrective action. And if you cannot evaluate, therefore, what is happening, you cannot control, therefore, what you want. So it may happen, dear, that you have to sometimes be so dynamic that we have to probably change 360 degree what we think and get into different things. Good companies look at that and move ahead, which means, therefore, that when strategies are formulated, these are formulated under a certain conditions which is prevailing at that point in time. But dear, as we move ahead in the market, 6 months, 8 months down the line, it is not necessary that the same conditions will be prevailing then. If it is, God's grace. If it is not, then what do? So we need to be continuously in line in what we have to do to get this. So strategic management process, SMP, strategic management process, SMP, therefore, this is what is called a strategic management process, SMP. Clear? Very simple, dear. Very simple, dear. Very, very simple, right? You will do some case studies tomorrow, or not tomorrow when we come. I'm repeating. Strategic management process starts with mission, vision, goals, objectives, SWOT analysis, strategy formulation, strategic formulation, top management, strategic implementation, all level, evaluation, all level, control, all level, is called as SMP, strategic management process. Last one, before I go on asking you another question, the strategic formulation therefore happens at 3 levels, dear. One, it happens at the corporate level. I'll explain you this, corporate level. Second, it happens at the SBU level. And third, it happens at the functional level. 3 levels. Strategic formulation, 3 levels. Now what is it? Very simple, dear. Let me take an example of Tata Sons. Tata Sons is a corporate company. Tata Sons has many SBU, TCS, Tata Motors, Tata Steel, and you can go on and on, Tata Oil, whatever, right? So many companies. which means that Tata Sons has a corporate strategy as Tata. This is what we are looking at. We need to increase and diversify our businesses to grow. What do we need to do? Oh, we need to get into the airspace. They got into the airspace. You see Vistara, and they joined that Singapore Airlines, at the joint venture and started off. They understand. This is at the top level. They want to acquire company. They want to go about, with their present operations into another country. They need to, export. They need to import, right? So what you need to do is that they need to go about understanding the various levels there, right? On this. Now, if you look at Tata Motors, now Tata Motors therefore has different division, manufacturing, sales and marketing, HR, right? HR, R&D, and so on and so forth. So in the company also there are different functional departments. So corporate level, so we have a corporate level strategy. Chapter number 5. We have already done this in the first and midterm. Then we have second level, SBU strategy. What is SBU? Strategic Business Unit. Every company, every business unit operates in its own environment and therefore have its own set of competitors. Right? Like for example, TCS is operated into a different industry, has got its own set of competitors than Tata Motors. Tata Motors is operating in a different set, has got its own set of competitors. Right? So SBU, therefore, because it has got its competitors, the word strategy comes in. Now you know that we don't call it business unit, but we call it strategic business unit. So SBU, Tata Sons के अंडर में they have different SBUs, strategic business units, Tata Motors, Tata Steel, TCS, Taj Hotels, etc. I can go on and on. Now these are SBUs. Now this SBU is actually looked after by a different CEO, right? And this Tata Sons, right, has a board of directors, and these top guys here who are CEOs are also part of that. So they all decide together the corporate strategy that Tata needs to adopt, but they go back to their respective companies. Let's say I am an CEO on the TCS. I go back here and have my own SBU strategy, strategic business unit level strategy, which may be different than this, which is Tata Motors or Taj Hotel, but this has to be in line with the Tata's corporate strategy. Right? It has to be in line with the Tata corporate strategy. So you have a corporate strategy, then you have SBU strategy, strategic business unit, which is our chapter number 6, which we will start with now. And then you go down, let's say Tata Motors has got different departments in the company. They have different functional departments in the company, like manufacturing, like sales marketing, like HR, like, go on doing it. I'm not getting into that. These are called as functional department of an organization. And these functional department also has to have their own strategy. So we call it functional unit level strategy, which is our chapter number 7. So what we are going to do is that we will start with 3 things. Strategic formulation we have 3 levels where we do the strategy. So we understand 1 level corporate level, 2 level business unit level, 3 level functional level. And then in the 8th chapter, we will talk about strategic formulation. In the 9th chapter, we talk about strategic implementation. Right? Again, strategic implementation. So we talk about strategic formulation, strategic implementation, strategic evaluation and control in the 10th chapter. And we look at if you want to go globally, so what is it? So globalization strategy. If you have to be a leader in your company and you want to get your leadership in your business, you have to look at what is the leadership or strategic leadership we will talk about. And finally, we will end the subject which talking about corporate governance, which probably you will do somewhere, which you might have talked about in principles of management or summit in a small way in some other subject. That will end your entire subject of strategic management. Dear friends, strategic management is very creative. See, I'm a strategic consultant to few companies. I give strategic initiatives to how to grow the company, right? And therefore, let me tell you that this is an intellectual job, right? You need to have some gray area, some creativity, some trying different things, some you know some analysis, evaluation ki himmat, you know, that how do you analyze a particular situation and how what kind of solutions are you going to give this. Very interesting, let me tell you. Very interesting. If you just look and study the book, you know, एक के बाद एक पेज घुमाएगा तो तेरा सर घूम जाएगा और बोलेगा चल बंद कर सो जा. And if you are not getting sleep, let me tell you, whoever is not getting sleep, don't go to a psychiatrist or any doctor to take medical, you know, those sleeping pills. Just open this book, read it, and you will sleep. Right? Let us understand here that it's very clear that you have to have some interest, right, in understanding. Look at your company. Now, I want you to basically look at your companies which you are working. Understand, right, that यार मेरी कंपनी में क्या होता है, ये क्यों होता है. Maybe you may not be, you may be an implementer. Most of you may be whatever you are doing in different stages, you may be implementing, you know, and you may not be part of that strategic formulation process until and unless, say, some people are there in this group who are business people or probably at levels which are vice presidents and CEOs and so on. If you are one of them in this group, which I don't know, you may be part of strategic formulation process, or if you are basically an owner on your own businesses, you may be doing a strategic formulation process. But most of us, dear, we have 57 people at this point in time in this room. Most of us are basically doing implementation work. I want you to just understand, dear, that what is it that you need to do, or what you are doing. What is the company doing? Why is the company doing like that? Just think, you know. You may not know, but think. Because as an implementer, you are so told or you are supposed to do ABC job, so you go about doing it. As an implementer, not knowing why you are doing it many, many times. So dear friends, that is what I thought of refreshing with you what we have done in the first half and telling you what we are going to do in the stages which we will be doing in the future. If it is not clear, I again said, like Shilpa said, sir, basic needs to be clear, sir. If you are not clear, dear, please ask me questions. Clarify it at this stage before you get more material into your head. Because once will I start, there will be a lot of other material which will come into your head, dear. And I would request, I put it very simply, you know. Okay? You see, I try to put everything very simply, right? And I'm trying to do that. So I would request you that please understand whatever I have said. If you have not understood, don't worry, ask me. Ask me. No question is silly, dear. Ask me, and I say, as I say, try me, I am good. So ask me, dear, and clarify before I move ahead. I see anyway I'm going to take one more session for this, because we cannot do in 2 sessions, you know, these 6 to 13 chapters. So normally I take one more session. So I'm not in a hurry anyways. Okay, but clarity is what I'm looking at. Clarity is what I want you to have, because exams will be application oriented. 1. 2, you need to understand this subject, dear. You know, you understand this subject. You know, there is some certificate course and something 1-year courses which IIM runs only on strategic management, you know. If you just feel good, do it, you know, afterwards, after you complete PGDM, do it. If you're interested, right, you will really, really enjoy. Right? So you will also have your own strategy, how I need to do well in life. Okay, so ask me questions. Okay, first question has come up, you know. Wonderful, sir, says Shashank. Thank you, Shashank. Thank you very much, dear. I do deserve all of that, you know. This is my hard work over the years, dear. Thank you. Thank you, dear. God bless you. Thank you very much. Okay, sir, how the strategy is formulated, like SWOT analysis, is there any tool to formulate it? Suprakash, right? I'm sure, dear, you also do your SWOT analysis for your own self. Now, I come back to you. Suppose you are a company. What is your SWOT analysis? Have you not done it? What are your strengths? Don't you look at it? What are your areas of improvement? You know it. What are the opportunities that you have in the marketplace that you can tap? You need to find out. What are the threats that you will have in your life to see that you do not meet what you want to do? Competitor, barriers. You need to know that. So as a company also, like you know your strengths, you know your areas of improvement. A company as an entity, the people there also knows what is the company's strength. Leadership is my strength, right? High price sometimes is a strength, sometimes maybe a weakness. My leadership strategy, my focus, my segment, is my strength. Okay, I'm looking at it. I will talk about Michael Porter and the Michael Porter theory as we will probably go in and understand. It will be more clearer then. But at this point in time, you need to understand what is your SWOT analysis, right? So tool is not what is required to understand the SWOT analysis. You don't use any tool, right, to understand your SWOT analysis. Same way, company doesn't require to use a tool. They know what are their strengths. You and me as an outsider also, if we go and say, oh, let me tell you, what is the strength of Tata? So you will say, sir, honesty, sir, integrity, sir, being there for such a long time in business, sir, has been diversified business in many, many companies, sir. So you'll go on battling out, right? Right. So same way, dear, you will have to understand this, what you need to do. Okay, what are you saying, sir? But if opportunity is less in the market, for example, in recession, what will be the strategy? Like, so big sharp failure, right? Good question. He says, sir, if opportunity is less in the market, dear, there is most of the time, Shashank, opportunities are never less in the market. Opportunities are always there in the market, but what you are looking at or what you are doing, maybe the opportunity is coming low or is going down. Opportunity to hai beta. Understand? Opportunity is there. But what I'm doing with the opportunity may not be there. Possible, right? Subiksha failure. Now, Subiksha was a store, which was basically in pan-India into the retail operation. Now, dear, understand, if you say that the Subiksha has failed because of opportunity being less in the market, do you think, Bicha, is this true, Shashank? Because if you look at all the other people who are having the same model and it's pan-India retail stores, are not shut down. DMart, More, you can rattle out, right? They are not shut down. So they shut down because of a particular reason, right? Those reason is not only because the opportunity is not less or was less. It is because that we have not anticipated, we have probably got more into it and therefore we have a problem. Kingfisher, same way, same example when we talk about Kingfisher. Look at Kingfisher. It was doing well. UV Group was doing well. As a company, they thought that we have to get into and improve our business. We want to diversify. So they said, oh, this looks better. So they diversified into airlines. They branded it Kingfisher, which was basically, so both the thing they were getting, they were getting the Kingfisher, beverages which they're selling in the brands Kingfisher, and now they have this Kingfisher airline. They started off so well, luxury airlines. They started off, so well with great models, right, as air hostesses and so on and so forth, right? And they did a pretty excellent job, and they were moving ahead, doing well. On the same basis, there was also a smaller airline, like let's say Indigo, right? It's a smaller airline, cheap airline, not looking at, no frill airline. So they were also doing well. So segmentation. I've been talking about it, so I thought, let me talk to you here. Segmentation. So one was looking at a different category of focus customer, another was looking at price competition. So one was looking at price, another was looking at luxury, operating in the same airspace. Now, Kingfisher thought, dear, I want to grow further. And because these airlines are there who are coming at a smaller airlines, Go Air, Indigo and all that, I should also be present in that space. One. Two, they thought in order to grow further and faster, I have to get into that space, yes. Plus, I want to also get into, foreign travel, international travel. Now, Indian rule says that if you are not an airline which is 5-year old, you do not get international flying license. So they thought that, yeah, why don't we take up an airline? Air Deccan was there. Now, Air Deccan, Captain Gopinath was the head, and Air Deccan was already 5 years in the business. So they thought it was a lower cost airline. Let us take that, buy that airline in case Captain Gopinath was interested in selling. Take this airline. In that we will have we will be having a smaller market of the people who were price sensitive market, as well as because we have been 5 years, I will buy and merge it. I will be a 5-year-old airline and I will also fly internationally. So that was doing so well. They ordered a lot of planes. They borrowed a lot of money, and they went on investing in that business. Now, dear, how the strategy was looking so good, but they went overboard with investments, and all of a sudden the environment changed, and there was a recession. With that, Sahara went out of business, right? Jet Airways bought them, right? If you look at it, Indian Airlines was merged with Air India, and what happened is that there were all of a sudden a lot of hue and cry in that business, because now there were many airlines, but there were not enough people flying. So the seats were more compared to the total airline, and the number of people flying were less. With that, and with that, the dollar rate came up from 45, come up, 55, 60. Fuel rates went up, dollar rates went up, recession happened, lot of problems, and all of a sudden these people thought, oh my God, what has happened? I told you, macro environmental factor. With that, a classic example, okay, just remember this there. Right. With that, what happens? And now they thought, what do I do? So they thought, let me get aggressive, and they, with Kingfisher Red, they called that low cost airline as Kingfisher Red, and they went aggressive with giving them lower rates, so that people went into this. The luxury airlines also went down their rates. So now these people also got down their rates. Hardly any difference with these low lines there, because here the services will see if a plane flies from, let's say, Mumbai to Delhi, and the plane has, let's say, 200 seats. If there are only 50 seats, the entire 150 seats which are vacant goes waste. Understand, all other requirements are the same. Plane का cost at the airport, the fuel cost is the same. Airlines को पैसा देना पड़ता है, pilot वगैरह को same. Everything is same. And the price of that ticket is also being equated with all those costs, taking into consideration a minimum amount of traffic. It's not flying. What do they do, dear? What do they do? So they went back. So went down. Chalo. Aggressive price war came in. If you remember, what was the price? Air tickets were so cheap, and they came up, And all of a sudden, what happened is, the moment these things happened, it was good for the consumer, but it became bad for certain companies. So the moment that happened, and you see, now they started defaulting on paying these pilots because they have no money. Lot of that. They were not able to pay interest rates. They are not able to pay. They started, giving lower rates to get the money. They got the money. When they got the money, they were not able to give it to the pilots. The planes, got started getting cancelled. The moment that happened, the customer started, having a problem. See, remember, the moment there is a problem at the customer end, everything is finished. You see, till that time you are able to manage, but that comes at the customer end, gone. See, Maggie boss, came at the customer end, finished, Now again they are launching in December, right? Let me see what is happening, right? But what has happened here is it's gone. The moment, and it is very difficult to bring it back. I'm not saying it can't be built back, but it's difficult to bring it back, right? Anyways, now these pilots started having a problem because they were not paid salaries. Now they went on to further borrow money to get the pilot. So they get the money to the pilot, they start flying. But customers started losing interest and they thought, yeah, I don't know, I'll buy a Kingfisher ticket. I go to the airport, I have got an interview or a meeting to attend in Kolkata. I go in the morning and I hear that the flight is cancelled. Oh my God, let's not get into that. Let's look at other airlines. Let's look at Indigo. Let's look at Jet or whatever. With that they went. Now they had nothing to do there. What did they do? See, lot of problems. So they thought the best way is to liquidate. So the company got liquidated. So is it because the opportunity was not there? No. Indigo is still making money. Is it not? Look at their balance sheet, is making money. Jet Airways had a problem. So Jet Airways collaborated with Etihad. Now if you look at, you have very few, right? You have Indigo, Go Air again, Go Air, kabhi chalega, kabhi nahi chalega. SpiceJet, same type of problems they are having, right? But they are having same type of problem, Kiran. SpiceJet is also, you see, they are giving fare. Myself, 2 times, dear, I had a very bad experience with SpiceJet, dear. Right? Because you go there and flight gets cancelled. You go there, what they do is they book the ticket and then they say you ask to nahi hai, sa flight, ek hi flight hai, ab raat ka flight le lo, ya aap ek kaam karo, yahan se wahan lo, wahan se idhar lo. Very bad, very bad. Right? I had to, my mother-in-law had booked my ticket. She was coming from Kolkata to Mumbai, and there was a morning flight, which afternoon flight. And they said, no, the flight is cancelled. There's only one flight in the evening. I said, what to do? So then they boarded her from there. Old lady, they boarded her from Kolkata, took her to Bangalore, and from Bangalore, they brought her here. She boarded at about 3 o'clock, there. She came to Mumbai at 11:45 in the evening, boss. Now, dear, but I paid her fare full rate, right? Direct flight. Same thing happened when she went back. So, dear, these people are not able to manage. Don't buy SpiceJet. No, dear. Right? Buy Indigo, time. Yeah? Buy Jet, time. Okay? That's what my experience is. I'm talking about my experience, boss. Right? I fly too often, so I'm talking about my experiences. I don't know. You may have different experiences. But let me tell you, dear. Again, I'm repeating. It is a matter of either strategy, some problem, implementation हुआ, शायद evaluation control नहीं हुआ. पहले से we went overboard and therefore there was a problem. Right? We went overboard and therefore there could have been a problem. Right? We don't know. We have to manage. Look at businesses. Businesses do not fail, dear, if we have to take or we have taken, what do you call action beforehand. It doesn't fail, dear. Let's understand. Right? It is only when there is some problem somewhere where we have not anticipated it. Right? We have not done a micro environmental or a macro environmental analysis. We have gone down, possibly. It could be because of environmental change, which has happened, for which you were. See, if the opportunity is not there, then every company would have gone down, right? But every company is not gone down. ना है ना मार्केट में आज भी चल रहे हैं, तो मैं क्यों नहीं चल पाया? मतलब मेरा प्रॉब्लम है ना बॉस, मैं नहीं चल पाया तो मेरा प्रॉब्लम है ना. मार्केट तो चल रहा है, लोग तो चल रहे हैं, फ्लाइट तो अभी भी चल रही है, तो मैं क्यों नहीं चल पाया? which means there could be an issue in the in the environment, yes, but there are other people who have been able to manage it. But that's what you require, good management, right? Why do you think people, take good people? I always say, in one workshop, I asked someone, how many people feel that people are assets? Please raise your hand. And there were everybody raised their hand saying that, yes, sir, I feel people are assets. I said, we are absolutely wrong, dear. People are not assets. Good people are assets. People are liabilities. People are liabilities. Good people are assets, bacha. And everybody is looking and wanting good people, dear. Good people. Let me see, dear. Please don't misunderstand me. Please don't misunderstand me. With a word of caution, I am telling you. You see, all these people, we have 56, 57 people here, right? But in this course, you might have at least 4,000 people who have enrolled. You are even in the second semester, not even 1 year over. 57 people here, Everybody may get this 3,500 people may clear and get a piece of paper, dear. But let me tell you, will everybody be good? Good people are assets, dear. Yeah, let's understand. Good people are assets. People are liabilities, I'm very clear, dear. People find me ruthless, Yes, I am. I'm a business guy, and I'm very clear on what I think, see, right? Let us understand that we are looking at good people. So why good people now, Management, apply, people, you see who people, what are they thinking, how do they go about it? I am not saying, dear, now don't misunderstand me. Somebody may ask me, sir, you took 10 decisions, whether all decisions were right. No, dear, maybe only 4 were right, 6 were not right. But at least I had the guts to take those 10 decisions. 1, 2, I'm still surviving. That itself means I'm able to manage those situations, right? I have been able to manage those situations. I have not been right 65% of the time. But dear, I have been able to manage that situation. My decision has gone wrong, but my business has not gone wrong. My decision of a particular investment or a particular product or a particular service or a particular environment or a market would have gone wrong. That doesn't mean I may have gone down at a certain time, dear, but I am not out, dear. Let's understand this. It doesn't mean, so please don't understand, don't feel, no, I have to always take a right decision. You do not know, dear. Because when you're taking the decision and when you're doing a strategy formulation, you are doing under certain impressions, certain vision, certain intuition, certain thinking, certain experiences, We know He is an Almighty, dear. We are not Almighty. We do not know what will happen. We do not know what you will do. The husband also doesn't know in 6 months' time what her wife will do, or the wife doesn't know tomorrow what the husband will do, You never know, dear. Do not take anything for granted any point in time. Right? But yet you have to take decisions. Yet you will have to move ahead. Yet you will have to take chances. Yet you will have to try new things. Yet you will have to move ahead, dear. Right? You have to. That is life. And that is how business moves, boss. You have to take decisions. You have to move ahead. Understand, friends? Right? In a very simple way, I'm explaining you that if you are able to do well, if you are good, I don't mean that piece of paper only. If you are good, I'm again and again telling you, which means you also have that piece of paper. Very important. Dear, understand that you will do well. But yet your decisions may be wrong. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, right? Move ahead, right? So Subiksha, Kingfisher, right? So many other companies, probably have gone down, have stopped, right? Not only because of the strategic decision or the opportunity or something else. It could be many factors factored in. Many factors factored in. Yeah. Okay? To come to that situation which has not been conducive to the company as a whole, and therefore the company has suffered. Have you understood? Have you understood? Yes. Sir, thank you so much for that wonderful explanation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, you are right. Any other question? Any other questions? Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Super, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Any other question? If you have no more questions, what we do therefore now, if you have understood the basic, now I go to the chapter and I am loading, I'll take a break and I will be loading chapter number 6, which is business unit level strategy, which is the second one, business unit level strategy. So we're talking about business unit level strategy, and if possible, the functional unit level strategy. At least 2 chapters would complete today. With the basics clear, you're not understanding the basic is not clear. With the basic cleared of your last sem or midterm, and with the basic clear of certain examples which we just discussed, if it is clear, you will be able to understand better. I may move ahead a little faster, but talk about certain theories which are new to you. Okay, we will be talking about them. So I'm taking a break now, right, and look at chapter number 6, okay, which is business unit level strategy. In the meantime, dear, if you have any questions, please write it and I will answer them. Hi. Okay, yeah, tell me. Who is this? Who's saying, okay, kuch questions hai kya? You have received the PPT. I have seen, I have given the link here. Link diya hai. Jisko nahi mila hai, please download kar lo. Haan, okay, Deepali, sure, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Okay, what is this? Sir, as an entrepreneur, I would like to know, in short, OT always changing, opportunities and threats, but SW mostly fixed. How to tackle the market situation? You explained well, will help me a lot. Okay. I've just given you have got the link now, please download. Okay, clear? Okay, great. Okay. Who is this? A minute, You have asked me a question. Okay, let me repeat that question which you have. Okay. What is that question which you asked me? Upar chala gaya beta. Ruk ek minute. You said gone up. See, Rajeshri is asking me, sir, as an entrepreneur, I would like to know in short, OT, which is opportunity and threats always changing every minute, but SW mostly fixed. How to tackle the market situation? If explained, will help me a lot. Rajeshri, you see, strength and weaknesses are internal to us. Were you there, Rajeshri, last time during PCP? Were you there, Rajeshri? Yes or no? Are you there, Rajeshri? I'm answering that question, but are you there? Well, I think she's not there, so no point of answering the question. Okay, I will move ahead. So now we go to chapter number 6, business unit level strategy. Okay, what is business unit level strategy? We will understand the Porter generic theory here. We'll understand and evaluate the cost leadership strategy. Cost leadership strategy. We'll talk about it, right? We will understand differentiation strategy. This is what Porter gave. And we will look at mice and snow framework, and we will assess the competitive advantage. This is what we are looking at in this chapter. Okay. Are you with me first? The room is very, very silent. I just want to take a pause and ask you, are you with me? Just say yes, yes, yes. I know you are taking it fast. Huh? Then I know how many people are with me. Yeah, because समझ में नहीं आ रहा है मेरे को. Very good. Yeah. Now I know many people are there. That's good. Okay. Otherwise, people will ask me question. I'm answering. They're not there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Richa, Mohan, Mohini. Okay. Very good. Yeah. Sarang. Okay. Great. Thank you. So now we move ahead here to understand what is a business unit level strategy. I already explained you, dear friends, that a business unit is an independent business entity, right? Independent business entity. Okay, Tata Motors, Tata Steel, okay, Tata Motor, Tata Steel, are independent business entity, okay, which has its own vision. Tata Steel may have its own vision and TCS may have its own vision. They operate in a different industry and they have their own set of competitors. We are just repeating what I have already told you. A single firm that operates within a single industry, right? I've already spoken about, therefore, the SBU. Business strategy is considered that as a company, as a business unit, the head will plan what is the marketing mix of that company, which means 4Ps: product, price, place, and promotion. And he will also define, and define means formulate, and will also implement and think that what is the competitive advantage that a company can build up for their SBU. Competitive advantage means how am I different than my competitor? What is different than my competitor? So I need to understand that. So Michael Porter, okay, gave a famous theory, famous corporate strategy, which says Porter generic strategy. He says, what is a competitive strategy? Very simple. It's all about being different, which means that how am I going to be different? How let's say Sweetie is different from Mohini. Okay, so Mohini needs to understand that how am I different? She needs to understand that and place for that मेरा competitive strength क्या है, right? You need to understand how can I therefore give something and bring to the table which is better. A company therefore need to understand that how and what should I do about my product or services which the consumer or a customer will accept, and how this is going to be better than what is there, what is offered by the competitor. So generic strategy therefore is commonly used by many organizations to achieve their competitive advantage. Now what is this? Let's understand this. Generic strategy is based on two competitive milestones. One, we call it two different things. We call it, one is called as a demand side and the scope. So we call it strategic scope. I'm repeating, general strategy is based on two competitive dimensions. How are we going to be different? So based on two competitive dimensions. One, what is the strategic scope? And two, we talk about what is the strategic strength or advantage that we have. The strategic scope is on the demand side. Demand side means customer मुझे क्या मांग रहा है. Demand side dimension, it looks at the size of the market. Market कितना बड़ा है, बहुत बड़ा है, बहुत attractive है क्या market. You remember when we spoke about in marketing, and we spoke about the Boston Consulting, and I spoke about GE multi-factor, Ansoff model, and the McKinsey model. I spoke about they talking and looking at, is the market attractive? Is the market big enough? What is the size of the market? So strategic scope, like this girl asked me that, sir, strength opportunities are changing. Opportunities and threats are external factors. And because they are external factors, these are uncontrollable. Strength and weaknesses are internal factors, therefore controllable. So when Michael Porter, when he spoke about the general strategy, he said the company needs to understand, dear, what is the strategic scope of this particular प्रोडक्ट सर्विस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की डिमांड है क्या, मार्केट है क्या, मार्केट का साइज क्या है करके. And he looked at the scope can be a broad market scope or it could be a narrow market scope. It could be a broader demand or it could be a narrow demand. So that is one thing which Potter said company should look at. Therefore we call it डिमांड साइड का क्या सिचुएशन है उसको देखिए, ये एक साइड है. सेकेंड ही स्पोक अबाउट कि सप्लाई साइड का क्या सिचुएशन है. सप्लाई मतलब मैं कंपनी हूं, मैं सप्लाई करूंगा, तो मेरे साइड का क्या सिचुएशन है. व्हाट इज द स्ट्रेटेजिक स्ट्रेंथ दैट आई हैव, व्हाट इज द कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज दैट आई कैन डिलीवर. सो ऑन द सप्लाई साइड लुक एट व्हाट इज द कोर स्ट्रेंथ, what is the core competency that I have. Every company has got its core strength or competency. What is the core competency of the firm and how do I differentiate therefore with my core competencies in the market. This is where am I different. This is where I could do better. This is where every company, let's say Johnson and Johnson. Johnson and Johnson has a very clear core competency in the baby care market. Very clear, strong core competency, right? Infosys may have a very strong core competency in, let's say, a particular banking software, right? So they have got a core competency in that, and every bank or most of the bank probably are using the Pinnacle system of Infosys, right? So every company may have some kind of core competency, and this core competency is very important. So as a company, you need to continuously find out what is the core competency that we have. You see, I remember, a few people I'm seeing here, Prakriti, I'm seeing here Muhi, you came for the master the interview workshop that I did last time. And I said that, that every person needs to understand and evaluate his or her own strength and understand how you will think or say that you are different than the competitor. So what is your core competency? Why and what you will do which is different. Same way, dear, the organization has to think of what is the core competency that we have. Now the core competency could be actually in different ways. One is cost competency. What is cost competency? I make products at such low cost that I am able to give in the market at a very attractive price. For example, Reliance. If you look at Reliance, Reliance is working on the cost competency business. I'll give an example. This polyester films are manufactured by Reliance Industry. I am dealing with one company. The name of that company is Moves Packaging Industry. They make medical grade packaging. And on one side, it's a medical grade paper, and the second side is a polyethylene film, right? It's like this. So they can put the item inside that pack and then put it for sterilization before it is used in the operation or for the operation theater, in the operation theater. Now what do they do? Now these polyester films are manufactured by Reliance, and Reliance, you see, is giving at such a low price that no one has been able to survive in the Indian market. So in spite of being in an oligopoly environment, we have an MRTP Act applicable here in India, which is Monopoly Restrictive Trade Practices. I'm sure you might have learned about it earlier. Still, Reliance is virtually having a monopoly. You know why? Because they worked on cost competency. They built the world's third largest manufacturing unit in the world. They source their raw material wherever they find it cheap with existing quality across the world, and because they buy in bulk, they get that at a very low price. For example, if I start today, I may ask for 10 ton, these people ask for 1 lakh ton. So 1 lakh ton, imagine the price that they get. Now they manufacture it, convert it into polyfilm and operate it at a price which no one will be able to give. So nobody is there in the market. They are the only people. They tried even with the phones, if you remember, 500 rupees phone. Now that didn't work there. So Reliance therefore working on giving the consumer at a price which is really best. That's their strategy. They try to work on a cost competency model. The cost competency model itself, when you try to work, you always would like to have a bulk supply. You always would like to have a bulk requirement. So when you have to have a bulk supply, you have to, if you get in bulk, then only you will be able to sell in bulk. So you have to match the demand and the supply side, right? Okay, we have to match the demand and the supply side. And therefore, it is important, dear friends, that we have to understand, could we work on cost competency? Because cost competency means I work on a volume sales, cost competency. Second is unique differentiation competency, that you work on how are you different. So you work on your core competency of giving a product your thing. Apple, a good example which comes to my mind immediately, let's say an iPhone or a MacBook or iPad. What is happening? They are keeping their price high. They do not want that everyone should use. They are not interested. They, I sell this item, I sell this product, unique operating system, iOS, unique operating system, premium brand for premium people, right? And I sell the phone at 80,000 rupees. That's my price. My core competency is my operating system. My core competency is my branding. My core competency is my marketing. My core competency is that I focus on only those kind of people who can afford me, right? That's what they're looking at. So one generic said that either you work on cost competency or you work on a unique differentiation strategy. Unique differentiation. How different? Unique differentiation strategy. Very simple here, right? Therefore, strategic managers who are there should determine whether the business unit should compete primarily by a low-cost strategy or should focus on unique products, unique services, premium customers, premium pricing, premium branding, premium product. What are it that you would like to look at? So all strategic managers need to understand. मैं क्या करूँगा, right? How will I be different? Tata is coming with, Vistara says we are giving full-fledged airlines. I have not, I have not taken a flight, so I don't know. But they said, that, unique thing, and we are a full service provider. We will do this, and we will give this and that. I don't know, but that's what they are looking at, right? They're not trying to compete on price. They're talking, this is what I'm luxury airliner, full-fledged service. This is what I want to give. You will always find people who will be able to take those services. Everybody will not take every service. Let's understand it very clearly, right? But we are clear that this is what we are looking at. Very clear, Some people tell me that, sir, you are charging more than a cardiac surgeon for a counseling session. The cardiac surgeon is also not charging. I say, see, just understand how good I may be. That I am charging more than a cardiac surgeon, for a 3-hour consultancy. I said, see, understand here. You have to focus on either cost competency, कि मैं दुकान खोल के बैठ गया, and मैं बोला, 500 रुपया, right? So what you do is cost competency. But you see, and another is you focus on premium, give something totally different, help them, get them the job, try. I'm not saying get them the job, please don't misunderstand me. Try, get them where they want to and things like that, So what happens is that you either concentrate on some core competency that you are looking at, Now you know that everybody will come to you. No, no, everybody cannot come to you, right? You see, you'll be very clear. Don't you worry, but that's your focus. That's your thing, you know. That's what you look at. That's what you want. So you look at that. So either you can have a cost competency or either you work on a unique differentiation strategy. That this is what I do, you know. And this is how I'm going to go about doing it. Rajan says, sir, Rolls-Royce cars, premium customer segment. Absolutely right, dear. Absolutely right. Understand, dear. I give an example. You see, Rajan, I give an example. Ranjan, I give an example that you will see a doctor, you know, I asked that, say that the doctor, you go from one place, apne ghar se nikal ke, you go walk 2 kilometers, you will find, you know, maybe 5 general practitioners and you will find 2 consultants, you know. You will see the person who is charging 50 rupees and giving the medicine, nobody is going to him. The person who is charging 500 rupees or 1000 rupees, no appointment. You know, you get an appointment after 3 days. That is what? That is poor competency, not on cost, but on differentiation. That 50 rupees wala fellow, you will give 2 days का पुड़िया दवाई और बोलेगा 2 दिन बाद आ. और ये बंदा एक बार आपको देखेगा, 2 दवाई लिखेगा, बोलेगा बाहर से ले लेना, ठीक है, और घर जाइए, कोई जरूरत नहीं है, आराम कीजिए, रेस्ट कीजिए, 2 दिन में ठीक हो जाएंगे, ये खा लीजिए whatever time से. And there are more people coming to him, right? So depending on, now what I'm saying is, depending on hand, I give you Reliance. That was a product. So if it is a product, we look at different. On the other hand, I also give a product. Now I'll give you some example of services, like a doctor's service. I just gave you an example. We go to the doctor is providing a service to you. So you're looking at that. So understand here that depending on, in the same industry, in the same product category, in the same services, you may have different people operating with different strategy. One on cost competency, other one on unique differentiation strategy. Are you clear? Yes or no? Are you clear? Yes or no? Just tell me a yes or no. Yeah, great. Yeah, fast. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Very good. Very nice. Very good. Yeah, you understand. That's good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so you're understanding. So see, very important. I told you this is something, you know, that we need to understand. You know, that what is it? Yeah, oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that you know. So second is cost leadership. I've already explained you there. Differentiation strategy, you know, is how you will be different, you know, focus on leadership strategy. And then the third one is focus. So you could have either a cost competency, second you could have a core competency, and you could also have a focus strategy, you know. Describe the scope over which the company competes based on cost leadership or differentiation. When you are looking at a broader focus, we can look at this. When you are looking at a narrow focus, company focus on a few large segments. पाउडर जॉनसन एंड जॉनसन सबके लिए बना सकता है, लेकिन वो सिर्फ बनाता है बच्चे के लिए. Baby powder, baby soap, baby cream. They are looking at a narrow market, narrow focus scenario, and focus is on a few target markets. Only children, babies. So they are concentrating on that. So that is called as focus concentration. उसी को वो काम करेगा. Focus or leader. Focus strategy, therefore, should large targets market segment that are less valuable and also are not susceptible to substitutes. Of tomorrow, you go and give a particular product and say, this is also baby soap, right? Himalaya came baby soap. Mother Care came baby soap. Mother Care is there, you know, is a big brand in the US, but here they came. People said, nothing doing. I want only Johnson. Very clear. Do not work on substitute product. Look at you, dear. If you have been going for a certain simple element to a particular doctor, okay, you go there and you see today the doctor is not there. And somebody else is there. If you really cannot withstand, then you will show him. Otherwise, you'll go back and say, कभी आए हैं डॉक्टर साहब? डॉक्टर साहब तो भाई छुट्टी में दिवाली के बाद आएंगे, तो ठीक है दिवाली के बाद मैं आता हूँ. And you will go back, right? You will go back because this kind of focus or leadership strategy will not accept substitution. Not accept substitution when you focus on a leadership strategy. See, we do training, right? We have different prizes for training. So if I'm training on a particular day, I get XYZ. I said, dear, I am not coming, dear. I will send someone else. वो बोले, नहीं sir, we want you. I said, oh, I'm sending someone, he's better than me, dear. He's going to get a better job. He said, no, sir, we want you, sir. Substitution doesn't work. Right. That is a focus on leadership. A focus strategy should target market, So these three things are clear to all of us? Yes or no? Very simple. I'm going a little slow because I made you understand. Very good. Thank you very much, dear. You're smart. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Nisha, Asif, Deepak, Jayashank, Nisha. Yeah, Nisha is saying a few people are there. Some people are not even talking. Yeah. No problem, dear. Okay. You are there, that's good. Criticism of generic strategy, but like everything there is a criticism. So obviously for any strategy, criticism of generic strategy lacks specificity. They said, नहीं सर ये तो specificity lack करता है ना, specific नहीं है, flexible नहीं है, the scope and possibility is limiting in nature, sir. Low cost leadership and differentiation may clash, sir. Because अगर आप एक low cost leadership मांगेंगे और फिर बोलते हैं मैं उसको differentiation भी कर दूं करके, वो clash हो जाएगा, sir. And therefore there is no proper direction, sir. ये clash करता है ना, sir. एक मैं बोलूंगा लो कॉस्ट दूंगा लेकिन लीडरशिप दूंगा, और दूसरी तरफ मैं बोलूंगा डिफरेंशिएशन भी दूंगा. तो जब डिफरेंशिएशन दूंगा तो लो कॉस्ट क्यों दूंगा, फिक्स दूंगा ना बस. Followed. So there could be a different, things which are there. So multiple strategy may be required. So we cannot use only one strategy. That is the answer. We have to use multiple strategy. So multiple strategies may be required. Basically to see that we probably require to respond to this challenging environment, right? एक चीज को नहीं, शायद हम फोकस भी करेंगे, लो कॉस्ट भी देंगे तो भी फोकस कर सकते हैं, ठीक है, लो कॉस्ट भी देंगे तो भी डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हैं, डिफरेंस लो कॉस्ट देंगे तो भी हाई प्राइस रख सकते हैं, डिफरेंशिएशन देंगे तो भी लो रख सकते हैं, बिकॉज हम लो कॉस्ट पे काम कर रहे हैं. सो देयर कुड बी अ मल्टीपल permutation and combination strategies that we will use in order to get and be in the marketplace. That ends your Michael Porter theory which we spoke about. Very, very important. Very, very important. The second one is what I call as Miles and Snow strategic framework. Now here what they did was they talked about 4 strategies. There are 4 strategies people can do. One, they said prospectors. What is prospector according to them? It is an organization that follows, is a highly innovative firm. Highly innovative firm that constantly goes on seeking new markets and new opportunity, and the orientation of the company is towards growth and they don't mind taking risk. We have spoken about Apple. Apple could be probably a prospector company. Right? They are continuously coming with new products. They are continuously taking risk. They are continuously getting into more creative and innovative product category with more services and benefits being added to their products. Second, we have Defender. Sorry. What is the Defender strategy? As the word suggests, concentrates on protecting its current market. ज़्यादा लफड़ा करने का ज़रूरत नहीं है. Let us have a stable growth, right? Let us have a stable growth. Let us understand we need not take more risk in the market, right? And let us serve the existing customer which are there, which means we work on stability. जो चल रहा है उसको चलने दो, ज़्यादा लफड़े का ज़रूरत नहीं है. Called as Defender strategy. The third they said is an analyzer. Who is an analyzer? It looks for stability and flexibility, which means it looks at opportunity and attempts to capitalize on the best of the prospector and the defender strategy. ये बीच में है. कभी हमको अगर कहीं हम डिफेंडर हो जाते हैं, कहीं हम प्रोस्पेक्टर हो जाते हैं. कोई आइटम हम लोग लाते हैं और हम नया इनोवेटिव आइटम लाके काम करते हैं. I'm sorry, काम करते हैं या हम लोग डिफेंडर कर लेते हैं. I'll take a break for 2 minutes. I'll just have some water and come back. Yeah, please, sir. My throat was, it's okay. Okay. So again, coming back there. So here they talked about 4 things, as I said. One was prospector. Okay. 2 was defender. 3 was analyzer, okay, which is in between, and the last one was reactor. Who is a reactor? Reactor is an organization which has no consistent strategic approach, no specific strategic choice. It just drifts and changes as the environmental events changes, reacting to what is happening. That's all. So they don't do anything of their own. They wait, right? And see कि क्या कर रहा है, अगला क्या है. ये environment change हुआ, चल मैं भी ऐसा कर देता हूँ. वो change हुआ, चल मैं भी ऐसा कर देता हूँ. So that is a reactor. So Miles and Snow gave a strategic framework where they said there are 4 kinds of organization. One are prospector organization. 2 is defender organization. 3 is analyzer. That means depending on that, they analyze the situation and they either take a prospector strategy or defender strategy. And the 4th one is the reactor. They do not have anything of themselves. They look at how and what the environment is. If the company is doing like this, the leader company, they will also do the same way. If the company works 360 degree, they also work 360 degree. So you do not have a specific strategy, but you just drift as the environment is drifting. Clear? Are you clear? Yes or no, all of you? Miles and Snow framework, right? Miles and Snow framework. Very good. Okay, then we move ahead to analyzer. Now, what are the operating principles? Therefore, very simple here, that we need to understand that everyone therefore needs growth. Every company is looking out for growth, and operating principles for utilizing knowledge is a part of a competitive strategy. Organization will leverage knowledge through the network of people who they collaborate with. They are looking for growth, and because they are looking for growth, knowledge development comes from worker aspirations, the employees who work, with their aspiration, and it helps in solving business problems, which again takes me back to the same thing which I talked to you a little while earlier, that we need good people. We are looking at good people here, right? That's what is very important, because these are the people who are important, and these are the people who will give solutions to the business complex situations. Business size is very important. I've already said how big is the market, what is the size of the business, does the company has the ability to adjust itself to the market and the environment factors, will the company be able to combat the competition and the environmental changes, which means the company needs to address how big is the market, and 2 needs to address who are the competitors in this market and how fierce are the competition in this market. They need to give and understand this entire thing. So if you summarize this chapter, therefore, strategic management must determine how the business units need to compete effectively in the marketplace. Each approach has its own advantages and disadvantages. A coin has got 2 sides, so it has got advantage as well as disadvantage. And each business, therefore, has its own unique strategy based on the combination of the resources that they have. So if you look at this chapter, therefore, dear friends, we look at two important things we spoke about. One is we looked at the Miles and Snow strategic framework, and two, we looked at, what is the Porter theory, Michael Porter theory, whereas we spoke about the focus, leadership, where we talked about cost leadership, we spoke about differentiation, and we spoke about focus or leadership. These were very important part of this chapter. Okay, that ends your chapter on the first one, and then we will get to the next chapter. In the meantime, if there are any questions that you have, you please let me know. Any questions? Is this clear? See, we are just warming up, and therefore I said that we will take another extra session in VCF and complete this. So I just, purposefully did a lot of revising and talking about so that your framework is clear. And now the next one is a unit level strategy, which also I explained, which is SBU unit level strategy. So I'm loading the next chapter. In the meantime, you have any questions, please. Okay, I'm loading and sending you the next one. Okay, Sweta is asking me, sir, from the exam point of view, how much weighted the sixth chapter carries? Sweta, I think I have been again and again telling you that in an MCQ based exam, you will never be able to know, right, that what is the weight every chapter carries. See, and if you know also, there is no point. I'll tell you why. I had earlier also said this. Let us say from 6 chapter there are 20 MCQs, from 730, from 840, from 920, ऐसा करके total MCQ suppose 300 बनाया है या 400 बनाया है, वो कंप्यूटर के पास है. When you log in, Sweta, you will get 50 questions out of those question bank of 400 or 500. Now you never know, right? From chapter number 6, you may get 3 questions, whereas I may get only 1, and someone may get nothing. From the exam point of view, in any online MCQ type of an exam, weightages are immaterial. Are you clear? Sweta, are you clear? I don't get, yes. Okay, so there is no point, so you have to study everything. So we go to the functional level strategy very hurriedly, dear. We will just go by understanding. Okay, functional level strategy. Vasanti, I have already told you, explain cost leadership. I explained you through an example. Were you not there? I gave an example of Reliance. Reliance works on cost leadership. Reliance works on giving, making products in bulk, and therefore buying products at a very low price. So their cost comes down, and they want to give away that cost to the consumer, and that is called as cost leadership. Third is differentiation. Differentiation is that people would like to work on having a competitive advantage and to see how am I going to be different. My product kaise better hoga. We will be talking about that. That is called as differentiation. How my products are different than a competitor. So I work on differentiation. I work on uniqueness in my product or services. That is called as differentiation strategy. In cost, I just work on bulk item, try to reduce my cost wherever possible, and if required, forward that cost out to the consumer at a lower price. So that is called as cost leadership. Am I clear? Sir, sales growth need not necessarily mean profit. Absolutely right, Girish. Am I correct? You are correct. Do organization runs only for profit, or even after sales growth, what could be the advantage going after sales growth than profit? They are very, see, what is the name? Girish. Girish, what happens is that profit is something which obviously people are looking at, because at the end of the day, if you do not have a strong bottom line, you will not be able to move ahead. However, every company, every banker, every person who invests money in the company also looks at whether the sales are also growing. So many times you see that my sales growth is there because you may increase your profit by reducing your expense sometime even after the sales is up or down. So people prefer that sales figures should also go up and profit should also go up. One, two. Many times important is that I go about investing money in a new business. Like I told you, I want to do 100 crore to 130 crores. And in order to do 130 crores, I need to infuse 25 crores. If I invest that, if I borrow that money from the market, my interest rates will go up. So in spite of increasing my sale from 100 to 130 crores, my profit may come down because at this point in time, my money is borrowed and I am paying a higher interest on that money which I have borrowed. Eventually, I am going to give it back. So it may happen that in 3 years time down the line, I will be able to repay the interest as well as the loan which I have taken. My sales goes on growing, my expense goes out, which was an interest burden, and my profit again shifts up. Very clear, dear. Right? So we have to look at company to company, right? We have to look at the product and services in the company and therefore decide what is the right strategy for us at that point in time. Clear? Yeah, very simple. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome, dear. Okay, now I go to the functional levels. Functional मैंने बता दिया था नीचे. Now we go to, you have different functional level and the formulation of a corporate strategy and the SBU strategy. You go to the functional level strategy. I explained this to you. Corporate strategy, SBU strategy, functional strategy. I also explained to you functional strategy means if this is TCS, which is, or Tata Motors, which is the SBU, which is corporate level Tata, SBU this, and then functional level means other divisions in the organization and what are their strategy. So functional level strategies, marketing में क्या करेंगे, sales में क्या करेंगे, production में क्या करेंगे, HR में क्या करेंगे. So we need to have all these strategies in place. So process that allows organization to concentrate the resources on optimal opportunities with the objective of increasing sales. Just like Girish said, and I just also asked me and I told you that every company is looking at increasing sales and it needs to take a long-term view. I told you in 3 years time, double my sales from 100 crore to 200 crore. Helping to stimulate the effect of strategy. And how do I do that? Obviously by customer acquisition. I will get more customers, which means I will do aggressive marketing, I will do assertive sales and get more customers. So customer acquisition and the revenue that I am getting per customer is giving me how much sale and how many customers are moving away from me. So what is the churn rate? Churn rate means मेरे पास 20 कस्टमर थे, उसमें से 5 कस्टमर चले गए, 10 नए कस्टमर आए, अब 30 हो गए मेरे पास, लेकिन 5 आदमी चले गए मेरे पास से. नेक्स्ट मंथ में वो 5 में से 3 आ गए, वो 20-30 जो हुए थे उसमें से 10 चले गए, नए 5 आए. तो डेफिनेटली what is the churn rate, which is the attrition rates that we talk about in the company. So we need to understand that what is this. So therefore a leader company which operates in the leader category is, it will talk about ability, vision and ability to execute vision. Leader organization. जो आदमी आगे से आगे, they work on the leader, you know. Like if you look at any company, any product, any services, there are leader forms. Every category of product or services, you will have someone as a brand leader. So that company is a leader form. For example, Adidas is a leader in the sportswear market, you know. Infosys maybe a leader in the IT segment, right? TK ITC may be a leader in the cigarette business, right? So we have to understand leader firm. Challenger. Challenger is the next person, next organization, जो उसको compete कर रहा है. For example, if we say Surf is the leader from Levers, Hindustan Lever, Nirma is a challenger. Nirma is the next one, challenger. Samsung, you're right, Shashank is a challenger. Follower. Follower is that company which replicates the product and services of the leader. Leader क्या कर रहा है? मैं भी वैसे ही बना के दे दूं. Micromax. वो क्या बना रहा है? एप्पल ने जैसा बनाया पतला सा, वैसा ही बनाओ. दो जंप. लफड़ाज करने का जरूरत नहीं है. What we do is follower strategy. So we go for niche market. Niche is unique. Again, uniqueness, right? We look at total, we look at a particular market. Johnson Nissan strategy. I am not looking at entire all people using, but I am looking at only babies using. Dettol soap. Dettol soap. Looking at only a particular antiseptic market, right? Looking at only one antiseptic market. They also, these are called a niche strategy. So market dominance अगर आप करेंगे तो either you can be a leader in your business, or you could be a challenger, or you could be a follower, a third party in that follower, and the fourth is a niche. I do not look at the total market of soap, but I look at only the antiseptic market for children after they come back and they are using, they play and they come back, you know, they have Kirano, bacteria, and I'm looking at only that market. Dettol soap, antiseptic market. सब जगह ही देख रहा है. एक particular corner, niche means a corner. So in total market segment, I'm looking at only one segment. That is called as a leader market. And then we have what we call as marketing strategies. Obviously, you know, we have learned product life cycle, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. And we already know that as an introduction stage, what the company needs to do when it is growth stage, what the company needs to do when it is maturity stage, what the company needs to do, because now the sales growth has come down, the sales have stabilized, and now it will start declining. So the firm maintains a hold and stable marketing mix, you know, कि चलते रहो कितना हम चल सकते हैं. And then obviously you have decline. When your product is going down and the product is declining in sales, the sales are declining, what we need to do? We need to either see that we harvest में जो पैसा मिल रहा है वो लेके निकल जाओ, right? And we look at just the same thing. We learned this in marketing. If you remember, product life cycle, introduction and product life cycle. So therefore we will have to understand if we are into this, what stage we are in, and what is the kind of marketing mix modeling that we do. What is marketing mix modeling? प्रोडक्ट को क्या करेंगे, प्राइस को क्या करेंगे, प्रमोशन किस तरीके से करेंगे, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कैसे करेंगे. So we may have to probably do what we call as understand what is the mix, and at different stages of the product in the product life cycle, our strategies may go on changing depending on what you are doing, what you are achieving, and what the competitor is doing. So we'll have to look at the people who are using the product other than the 4 P's, which is product, price, place, marketing. Who are the people who are using? Now in the case of services, we look at 7 P's, which is product, price, promotion, place, people, processes, and physical evidence. I think you will have a subject called services marketing. I don't know whether it's still there in your third sem or fourth sem. I think it was there. I don't remember it's there or not. Services marketing, you know. 7 P's of marketing, which I explained you in marketing, that when we market a product, we look at 4 P's. When we are marketing a services, we look at 7 P. So other than 4 P, we talk about people. People who are giving the services has to be good. Who are the people who are giving you service? The process which is followed. And the last one is physical evidence. What is physical evidence? The way we are, that is called as physical evidence, you know, right? So that's what we are looking at. Now is the marketing strategy. Finance ka kya strategy hai? Now finance has to manage the cash flow. What we are looking at, I'm repeating, what we are looking at functional department strategy. So every department has its own strategy. So marketing ye strategy karega depending on where it is. Finance will have its strategy. Here I have to manage the cash flow. पैसा ज़्यादा लग रहा है, I will have to raise capital, पैसा लगेगा. I have to take the money and make investments. So finance has got its own strategy. So similarly, HR will have its own strategy. अच्छे लोग चाहिए, ट्रेनिंग करना है, you know, employee को motivate करना है, employee workforce के लिए हम क्या करेंगे? Because these are the people who will help achieve our goals. We have to understand that learning and development and performance management is a very important part of HR function, and we need to see that what are the things that we do for an HR strategy. Production क्या करेगा? Production, obviously, what kind of capital expenditure? अभी हम बढ़ रहे हैं और sales are growing, which means the machine that we have is not going going to suffice, and therefore I have to invest in new machinery. There's a new technology which has come in wherein we can reduce our costs and increase our productivity. So we require to have a new product, new machine. So new expenditure, new machine are required, more people are required, more overtime has to be given, zyada shift hame chalana hai. So these are all production strategy. And at the end, you have to also do quality, because we do all of this, but no quality. So we talk about TQM, total quality management. You might have heard about Six Sigma and so on and so forth. So organization needs to adapt this quality management ultimately to see that they give operational excellence. They have to give and probably improve the product or services, improve the quality of the product or services, improve their performances, improve the efficiency, give the product at the right time when it is required, at the right place, in the right quantity and quality. So that's what quality management which is there, and I just spoke about Six Sigma. Six Sigma is a very important part of quality management process, and therefore key roles plays in the organization for successful implementation of Six Sigma in big companies, major companies. This is very, very common. Six Sigma, there are different levels in Six Sigma. Executive leadership responsible for sharing up a vision for Six Sigma. Then you have champions taking responsibility for Six Sigma implementation across the organization. This is a name given for some people who are selected as champions who will be doing that. And then you have master black belts, acts as an in-house coach on Six Sigma. So these are black belts. So there is a different Six Sigma training. In quality management, people go outside and do this training. This is a very important training for all quality management people, production people specifically. They normally go and do this training, So we have what we call as a Six Sigma training, the key roles that they play. And then R&D strategy, very important. I'm going to do from KPMG, says Sasan. Very good, dear. You should do it. Very good, Sasan. Do it. Very nice. Then research and development strategy. So research and development भी एक division है. उसका क्या strategy है? Right? What are the new product or services that they are looking at? What are kind of research that they are looking at? What are the research investments that are required? हम innovation कुछ नया कर रहे हैं क्या नहीं? हमारी creativity कुछ है क्या नहीं? What are the things that we need to do to come out with better products, better things as we move ahead? Supply chain strategy. Now in supply chain, many organizations looks for reducing cost by improving timing to the market. The distribution system is revamped. The routes through the transport takes for supply a material from one particular place to another. You will do in the third semester distribution management. Whoever is going to take marketing, I'm talking about them. In distribution management, we talk about PERT analysis, CPM level, that how do we go about doing and handling the logistic part of it to see that we get the material faster, promote or give the material, transport the material faster, give it at the right time, at the right quantity, right quality, right place, right price. So how do we reduce the cost? What kind of routes do we take to ship the material from one place to another, from one go down to another, from one factory to different CNFA go down? What kind of inventories are required to be there? What inventory management therefore requires to be done at various CNFA, various go downs, various companies, CNFA levels which are there. So supply chain, information system, IT. Now today everywhere we talk about IT. So information system की क्या strategy है, plays a very, very crucial role today, because without information we cannot take action. Hence it is crucial function of an organization today, and IT systems are there to support the automation and function of department. We require to have a very strong IT strategy which and invest heavily into good hardware and software systems and solutions with the same objective that the organization will get information at the right time and will be able to improve its market's presence, will be able to improve production, will be able to reduce costs, will be able to improve inventory management, will be able to see that my customer is getting what they want at the right time, right quality, right price, and at the end of the day the customer is satisfied, comes back back and becomes a loyal customer. The moment he becomes a loyal customer, we spend less money on that customer because now he's a loyal customer, and therefore our profitability increases, our sales revenue increases, you know. So that's what is the basic thing. So to end this chapter here again, we talked about functional unit level strategy. Functional unit are different departments in the organization, and every department in the organization has its own set of delivering or deliverables which they have to do, and therefore strategic manager must align these activities in all the functional departments to ensure that various departments work together, well coordinated, to see that we give an output, we collaborate together, and see that we ultimately give what the customer wants at the right time. That is called as functional unit level strategy. That ends your chapter. Very simple, dear. That ends your session. This is the advantage, you know, of first talking about the entire thing and then getting into the chapter. You are able to do it very fast. Any questions? That ends it. Any questions you have, I will take. Anyone has any question, I am there. Come on, shoot. Have you understood? Let me ask, have you understood? Yes, so very simple, right? Very, very simple. So we spoke about two things today, corporate level as well as business. Yes, sir, says Pradeep. Yeah, Sandeep says, yes. What about the other people? We have 53 people. Yeah. What about others? Yes, says Kaushiki. Kaushiki is very prompt. Good, Kaushiki. See you tomorrow, not tomorrow, day after, right? Yes, sir. Sashank sir, yes, but I have to read in depth. You have to, Sashank. Obviously, this is not an easy subject. Yes, sir, it was very good. Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Sir, make or buy comes in with. It depends upon, Ranjan, what kind of product is there, whether we want to make or whether we want to outsource, take it, and then probably, go about looking at it. Yes, sir. Very well explained. Thank you very much. If you have no more questions here, thank you very much. We will be seeing in the PCP for people who are coming. For the PCP, we will be seeing you there, and we will be, I have got some case studies which we will discuss, and then probably end that up. Thank you very, very much for being here all the time. Thank you very much. God bless you, and a very good night. Do take care of your health, dear. God bless you, and I love you all, dear. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.